Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest watch along. Emil in the live chat says he likes the lineup for Manchester United today. Well, I can tell you, I don't like it. I really don't like it, but there's not a lot I can do about it because it's because of illness. There is no place for Rasmus. He scores a goal and the next game he misses out with illness. And I've got to say, what's going on at Manchester United with illness? I just don't know what it is about our season that we're the only club that seems to have a pandemic illness. Not pandemic, that's not the word. We're the only club that seems to have an illness that's been going through the club for about 6 weeks. Is it the canteen? What's going on? Are we doing Newcastle things? I don't know what's going on. We've had... It's just... You know, It really is annoying, and I'm sure Rasmus is ill. He would definitely want to play, but I mean, just what illness is it? You know, it's been going on for about 6 weeks. Varane, Lindelof, Rashford. I mean, there's no way Martial can still be ill, by the way. I mean, what's going on with Anthony Martial as well? Martial's not on the bench. Rasmus is not playing. Martial's had an illness for about 3 weeks. You know, what's he done? You know, had his foot amputated or something? I mean, what's going on? What is going on? So, yeah, it's that's the lineup. There's not a lot we can do about that. We go with what we've got. Rashford will obviously play down the middle. It's a shame, but I suppose it's the normal thing, isn't it? It's the continuity at United, which we just we never can. So, miracle in the chat. Do you think we're going to need a miracle? I don't think we're going to need a miracle. Who says we need a miracle? I fancy us to win. Marcus Rashford, 350k a week. Anthony's been doing quite well recently. We've got Garnacho. It's the same midfield. It's the same defence. I don't think we need a miracle. I think we can do it, but it is a frustration when you've got to change your front three that did so well against Aston Villa. It's constant, isn't it? It's just constantly having to change the team. It's so bloody frustrating. I can only imagine what it's like for Ten Hag. Just the 3 o'clock games, by the way, if you're interested. Well, Chelsea beat Luton 3-2 earlier on. Crystal Palace beat Brentford. Man City have beaten Sheffield United 2-0. And Wolves beat Everton 3-0, which is quite interesting because Wolves are actually only 3 points behind us now. Doing very, very well, Wolves. And Aston Villa are beating Burnley at the moment. In a way, a Burnley equaliser would be a good thing for United, but they're down to 10 men, so I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, the Man United team is on the screen for you there. No changes in the midfield, of course. Nathan, massive shout out to you. Get the badge in. He's been a member for 10 months. If you want to be a member, click the join button and support the channel. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. If anyone wants to do any of those, we'll read those out. In fact, let me just get to my viewer activity so I get to read them all. Score prediction, says Dan the Real, who's a United stand member. And Jonathan is our first super chat of the day. He says it's definitely the raw chicken for the illness. Score prediction 2-0 to Manchester United is what I'm going to go with today. But yeah, let's have a look at the league table. Can we have a look at the league table, please, Mark? Said somebody in the chat. Yeah, of course we can. There it is. That's how it looks at the moment. So a win for Manchester United would take us up to 6th again, 2 points off Spurs. Obviously, West Ham don't play until next Tuesday, so we could be 6th for New Year. But yeah, I've got to say, it's disappointing. It's very disappointing not to have Rasmus involved in the squad. Just a big reminder, by the way, you might have seen the link in the description. You can scan the QR code and get 20% off with the code TUS and free worldwide shipping for a little, a company, there's nothing little about Manscaped, for a company called Manscaped. If you don't know what Manscaped is, it's precision engineering for your family jewels. But it's more than that. It's basically the elite leader in male grooming. Because not only do you get the lawnmower, which goes down there and trims the grass to make the yard look bigger, you can also get the weed whacker, which goes up there to make that clearer. You've then got the handyman, which will make you clean shaven. You know, classic style, very good. I use it for the bits around the edge because I don't want to be clean shaven, but very, very good, very, very quick. And then this is what I use on the face. 10 different lengths, the beard trimmer, very, very powerful. Used to take me about 2 minutes to have a shave. Now it takes me about 1. So fantastic products delivered to your door for free with a 20% discount, which is the code TUS. Make sure you check out Manscaped. Fantastic products. It could be big for you in 2024. Literally an eye-opener. Luca, welcome to the Members Club. You're a legend. Get the badge in. Why do I say get the badge in? Because you get a badge next to your name if you're a member. And I'm drawn to the badge. As you know, I've got a few jumpers with badges on, but thanks for supporting the channel, Luca. Super chat from the Duke. He says, hi, Mark. Do you think Erik ten Hag should give Pellistri a chance? Might lose him if we don't, says the Duke. I'll go through the bench in a moment, actually, the Duke. Bogdan says, please give some credit to Radet Vitek. I always had eyes for a top-class goalkeeper. This kid is phenomenal. He can play at any level. He'll be the best goalkeeper. There we go, from Bogdan. And Danny says, hi, Mark. This is the first time I've decided to chat on the United Stand. I've got to ask what you mean when you say what sounds like naughties. Well, Danny, does anyone want to tell Danny what I mean when I say naughties? Basically, you got the 80s, the 1980s. You got the 90s, the 1990s, and then you've got the noughties, which is, it's not your missus on a Saturday night, it's actually the period between 2000 and 2010. So yeah, that's what that's all about. Sean Patterson loves having a badge. Yeah, it's the 2000s, exactly. Seems to be more illnesses these days, not just United, says Rob. Sancho's dream is to become an Olympic lifeguard, says Colin Felix. 4-1 to United, says Rudolph the Red, gutted about Rasmus. And Tomo says, will he have balls to put Garnacho on the right, says Tomo Duff. I hope so. I hope so, but I actually think he'll be back on the left, is my prediction, because obviously Rashford, we believe, will play down the middle. Now, the bench for Manchester United tonight is made up of Bienda, Kambwala, Reguilon, Ahmad, Gore, Hannibal, McTominay, Pellistri, and Van der Beek. So Ahmad's on the bench, Gore's on the bench, Hannibal's on the bench, Pellistri's on the bench, Kambwala's on the bench. It's a very, very inexperienced bench apart from Scott McTominay. So we are sort of down to the bare bones again, aren't we, United? Breaking news, no Rasmus in the game. And I think this is where sometimes you have to cut you have to cut Ten Hag a bit of stick, because he is, he's made mistakes this season. There's no doubt about that. But on the other hand, he's also a player that he's also a manager that's had to put up with quite a lot. But we need to see performances from Rashford and Anthony tonight. I think those two players really do need to step up. Huge game for Manchester United. And, I get it. I do get it. I think there is a feeling of how what's the words? That Villa, what I'm basically trying to say is that Villa game needs to be a catalyst. And it can't be a catalyst if we don't win. And that's what we've got to go and do today. We've got to go and win. Simple as. A draw is not really good enough. It's at that point. I'm not having a stroke, I was sending a message to somebody. It's a game that we've got to go and win. I don't feel that there's any alternative to that tonight. Gems is a legend of the chat anyway, one of our moderators now, but has also gifted 5 memberships. Hope you're doing well, Gems, and thank you very much for that. Sean O'Rourke's been a member for 4 years. Big up the United Stand. Do you think Garnacho and Anthony will rotate sides? Please give my brother Pat a shout out. Shout out to Pat, who's not a Pratt. And shout out to Sean as well. Happy New Year, says Karen. What are your predictions for this match? I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. And what is your favourite movie, says Atava? Probably The Departed or Heat or something like that. Do you think in the summer we should be moving on Anthony, Rashford and Onana, says Leon? Well, I don't think we will, no. Should have played Scott Torre today, but oh well, says United are the team for me. Rashford has better chance in finding Atlanta City than the back of the net. He's overrated every other season at best, says Ali Jabbar. Seems to be, I've done that one as well. Yeah, I'm going to stick with a 2-0 win for Man United. Welcome to the Members Club, Felix. Thank you very much for that. Beth's been gibbering shit again. Thinks you're too harsh on Onana, says Pop the Cat. Well, nothing like being blunt there, Bob. I mean, I must admit, I've had a bit of a day off today. I didn't do the morning show and I didn't do anything on That's Football. So it's been a bit of a weird day for me today, but a really enjoyable one. I mean, it's a bit, I don't normally get to be like just doing a watch along. So it's been quite nice. So I've been doing some preparation for New Year tomorrow night, and just chilling out. So I didn't actually watch the Countdown to Kick-Off show. I normally do, but I didn't watch it, so I don't know what's been said. But Richie says we're going to struggle against the low block. Will Nottingham Forest play a low block? Says Richie. I think they'll play counter-attacking football. Yeah. Happy New Year, pal. Hope all is well. Says it's your boy Kelv, and to you, mate. Hope you're doing well. I don't think I'm too harsh on Onana. I think we are an intelligent community here. And I was actually reading a Twitter account this morning, the Swedish Ramble. Brilliant account. It says a lot of stuff I don't agree with, but it says a lot of stuff I do agree with. And basically what he was saying is that there's no problem with people being critical of Onana. There can be no doubt that we're out of Europe because of Onana. But his Premier League form is not as bad as some would have you believe. And I actually agree with that. I don't think his Premier League form has been as bad as some people think it is. In Europe, dreadful. In the Premier League, not too bad. In fact, I think up until the West Ham game last week, you could argue he was one of the best performing goalkeepers in the Premier League statistically. I think he had a lot of clean sheets. But look, unfortunately, we're out of Europe, and it feels to me like because we're out of Europe, Onana's missing it. So he started making mess-ups in the Premier League now. It seems to me since we've exited exited Europe, he's thought, I've conquered Europe, now I'm going to conquer the Premier League, but not in a good way. Because against West Ham last week, that was pitiful against Bowen. He's got to close that down on his front post. It was weak. And, the first goal against Villa was shit. So, look, I want Onana to do well. And I agree that in the Premier League, he's been okay up until the last week. But in Europe, there can be no that. So I just think with Onana, fair play if you think he's going to be the real deal. I hope you're right. But if, like me, you think he's been, unexceptionally bad at times, then, that's the reality. He gets paid a lot of money. He's Man United's number one. David De Gea got enough stick over the decade he was here. Welcome to Manchester United. You're going to get scrutinised. You're not going to get let off. That's what it is. It's down to him to prove us wrong. But one thing we've always done on this community, and we've seen it with Maguire this year, and we saw it with Matic a couple of years ago. You can think a player's not good enough, and then they can get their head down, work hard, and prove you wrong. And hopefully that's going to happen with Onana, because I don't think he's going to go anywhere. Mark, can you call my girlfriend Chloe a prat? Says Obi. It's not very nice. It's not very nice. What's your best and worst moment of 2023, Mark? Love United stands. Thanks for 2023. Just out of surgery and waiting for the game in hospital. Happy New Year, says Gummy. I'll do it in a United stand sense. I think the highlights of 2023 for me, without a shadow of a doubt, have been the live shows. The Christmas show at Manchester, the tour in March, the summer show, the end of season show in Dublin. Just to get out and meet some of you people was great, and I'm looking forward to doing more of that next year. So that's the big standout for me. My worst moment is probably the Glazers not selling. In fact, it's not probably. To be led up the garden path and then them not sell was devastating. And look, I hope Sir Jim can do something, but let's not pretend that we weren't expecting a full sale and we didn't get it. It would be a Alanga thing to score. Well, we haven't mentioned Alanga, Kyle, and you're absolutely spot on. A 3-1 win United. Can I classic jerseys to purchase and we can fans petition to get rid of VAR for good, says Jabbo. Would you prefer Tony or Osman or Openda, says Dan. I'd take Osman. I'd rather at McTominay as striker today than Rashford, says Ross. I think, you know what? I'm excited about this game now. The disappointment of Rasmus is subsiding because it's not his fault. It's not Ten Hag's fault. He's not been dropped. I feel it's a bit like Fulham. I feel it's like a little bit like that, backs to the wall. Chris says, what's your thoughts on the Lindelof contract extension? I didn't know he had one. Not had the chance to stop recently due to Christmas. But hope everyone had an amazing festive break. Yeah, I think we've got a few people coming back, Lee. Welcome back. I hope you've all had a good Christmas period. Obviously, New Year tomorrow as well. I'm just glad we're not playing on New Year's Eve. Dean Brady, welcome to the Members Club. You're a legend. Get the badge in and Yeah, I don't know what this Lindelof contract extension's all about, actually. I don't know. Aston Villa did beat Burnley 3-2, by the way. It was into stoppage time, but they have won 3-2. I don't know whether we've got the Forest team that's been on the screen. I think we have, but they've got Turner, Montiel, Niakata, Santiago Costa, Aina, Danilo, Yates, Gibbs-White, Dominguez, Alanga, and Wood in their team. I mean, they're a hard-working team, but they're not a team that we should be, intimidated by. We need to go and win this game. And if we don't, then we've only got ourselves to blame. I think we don't play in the Premier League for a couple of weeks. Our next game in the Premier League is Spurs, isn't it? And we've got, obviously, FA Cup weekend next weekend, which is massive for us. So there's a real opportunity for Manchester United here to go and, really put a marker down. And I hope that we can do it, because I just think if we were to lose tonight, you'd probably expect to be maybe 9th by the time Newcastle. Well, maybe not Newcastle, but I think Brighton might beat West. I don't know. But look, we can't afford to be losing today. Please call my girlfriend Emma Pratt for playing games on tablets, says Scott. Oh dear, the other halves are getting it tonight, and I don't mean like that. Or maybe they are. Maybe it's foreplay. Maybe I'm just part of your foreplay. I don't think... That's a horrible thought. I don't think Onana has been bad. I just think we have realised how good De Gea was. Also, why is there no talk about Garnacho at right wing, says LTV. Well, but this is a great point. This is a great point by LTV, because this is what I'm saying. You can't argue or moan about an illness, and it is a shame. But I think that... I've just seen Rashford walking along with his earring. How long has he had that earring in? Has he always had that? It looks quite nice. My best moment of 2023 was winning the League Cup, and my worst moment of 2023 was losing the FA Cup and seeing Man City win the treble, says Jack. Good, fair points. Geraldine, welcome to the Members Club. But this is what annoys me the most. It's the fact that we played against Aston Villa in the second half and we played well, and in the very next game we break it up. And this has been happening all season. The very next game we break up the positives of what happened in the last game. So, Garnacho was on the right, Rashford was on the left, and Højlund was up front. Tonight, Garnacho's on the left, Rashford's up front. So it's a completely different front three, and it sucks. It sucks. It does suck. But it sucks it stops the momentum and the consistency of those players working together. Rashford reminds me of that basketball for the Bulls. It's sad to see. AK. Oh, what, Rodman? No. Look, Marcus Rashford, I don't think about his brand. I don't think about anything that he does off the pitch. Because to be honest with you, some people feel it's a distraction. Some people think he's overhyped. At the end of the day, he's a footballer for Manchester United. All I want him to do is score goals for Man United. That's what I judge him on. Rasmus is not playing because he's ill, Mads. Mads just asking there why he's not playing. Thank you very much for your super chat there. You can do that through the $sign. We'll read those out. After 8 years of doing live streams, I've actually figured a way where I can see the live chat, but I can also get all the super chats. So we'll never miss them anymore because I can just read them all. And the past 1 or 2 I've slipped through. Højlund is out with illness, says Gems. Thank you very much. And Rashford needs confidence, says Jayant. How can Rashford score goals if we can see Rasmus never gets surface, says Danny. And how is that a penalty in the Villa game, Mark, says Butch? Well, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what you're talking about. I've not watched any of the games yet. Thank you very much, Carl, for your super sticker. Martinez will return around middle of the month, Sartak. I'm just going to get you some quotes from Ten Hag, actually, because I know he's been speaking ahead of the game. So let's see what he's had to say. Life can be very simple. Football is very simple, but playing simple football, that is very difficult. We have to show more determination than Nottingham Forest, and we have to win this game. We know that, but it is an investment. On Anthony, he says, I've got a good feeling. It's also a good opportunity for him to show that we have coached a lot and trained a lot about runs in behind. And we expect that from all players, but especially the front line. On Rasmus's illness, he doesn't have the energy to start or be on the bench. You have to deal with it. He also says we're also very dangerous in transition, but they have good counter players like Alanga, Wood and Gibbs-White. Don't forget him. We know that every team in the Premier League has very good players, so every team is a challenge, but it's what we like. And it's clear on our best days we can live with the top 3 in the league. Well, that's bollocks. I don't know what Eric's talking about at the moment, because I didn't agree with it in the press conference and I don't agree with it now. It's not clear to me on our best day that we can live with the top 3 in the league. I think that's complete and utter bullshit. When we haven't lived with Liverpool for about 3 years. So I don't know what he's talking about. I've not seen Man United play Liverpool and look anywhere near good for ages. Or Man City. I don't know what he's talking about. So now we have to build on the consistency, and if you want to achieve something, we need to be consistent. That is the big challenge for us. Well, he's right about the consistency. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know how we've gone from Ten Hag nearly getting the sack to him doing interviews telling us consistently that we can live with the top 3, because we can't. We can't. And I'm a fan of Ten Hag, but I don't think he does himself any favours saying we can live with the top 3, because I don't think we can. I don't think we can. I don't think we're anywhere near. I'm really happy Ten Hag understood McTominay shouldn't be starting. I hope this is another win, says Merck. Well, we're not even talking about it, are we? So it just shows you how wrong he was to be picking McTominay, because no one's even spoken about McTominay because he shouldn't be bloody starting. Simple as that. Talk about Ahmad, says Victor. Well, Ahmad was a footballer that we bought from Atalanta. He joined in the same summer as Pellistri. After loans at Rangers and Sunderland, it looked like it was going to be a big season for him, but he got injured in pre-season. He's now on the bench for Manchester United. Is that enough talking about Ahmad? Do you want anything else? He's on the bench, which is good. This would have been the perfect day to play Anthony on the left, Garnacho on the right, to see if they would provide service to the striker. He would never, ever have done it, Ikshan. He's not going to drop Rashford. And Jamie says, the trouble is, first sign of trouble, he will bring Scooby-Doo on. Yeah, well, he does love him. I've got a job interview for Credit tomorrow, says London Investment. There we go. Good luck with that. And Chance says United should make a move for Brian Brobby. He once said that he would be open to joining Ten Hag if he needed him. Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens, I suppose, in the January transfer window. 8 minutes to kick off here. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. What are we at for subscribers? We're only 10 subscribers away from 805,000. 1.8 million. 805,000. So we're only 20 away from 805,000. So please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right hand corner, it's free to do. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. So get involved. Although I will warn you now, the New Year's Day morning show will not be at 10 o'clock. There is no chance of that. I'm thinking more around midday. And if you don't understand why, yeah. In fact, I think a lot of people will be happy with a midday New Year's Day show, actually. In fact, I might just prep you for that with a New Year's Day, with a midday stream tomorrow as well, just to get us in the mood. And it is a Sunday tomorrow, so I could probably do with a longer sleep tomorrow, get ready for New Year's Eve. Yeah, I'm going to move the 10 o'clock show to midday for 2 days only. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. It's a new thing. About 50th illness, does this happen at other clubs, says Arfoot. And Mark, who changes the stickers on your camera and how do they do it without seeing their hand? I really like the one with the player kit, says Nelson. I wonder, you even got me there for a minute. Please highlight how youthful that bench is. A lot of players there who haven't downed tools before. They should get a chance if these players drop their heads, says Matt. And come on, United, let's show a winning mentality, says AC. Thank you very much, mate. We are on the road to 2 million, you're right. Come on, United, let's show a winning mentality tonight. I think we're going to win. I think we are going to win. I think we are going to win. I mean, for what for what it's worth, I think we will win tonight. I've had a super chat here from Chris. He says United have activated an option in Lindelof's contract to extend him until 2025. Oh right, okay. Well, I've got no problem with that, Chris, because Lindelof otherwise would go for free in the summer. So I presume we'll do the same with Wan-Bissaka. It's what we did last year with... I can't remember who we did it with last year. Luke Shaw, Rashford. Just gives you a little bit more time. Stian says, have you seen the Martinez lineup interview? Yes, I have. Yeah, I have. Would you get rid of Lindelof then? It depends if Victor Lindelof's happy to be fourth choice centre-back, because I want Martinez and Varane to be our first choice, and then bring Todibo in as third choice, and then Lindelof could be fourth choice, or Maguire. But if he's not happy with that, then maybe he should go. From Norway, you have Haaland and Odegaard. The next Norwegian will be Isaac from the Man United Academy. Watch him shine, says Frankie. And thanks for all the content this year, Mark. And here's to more. Come on, United. I'm wearing my 88 blue retro shirt. Come on, says Stu. Happy New Year, Stu. And Igshan says, Mark, I didn't say you would drop Rashford as Rashford is the striker. It'd just be a good experiment to put Anthony on the left. Oh, yeah. Well, we could do that tonight. I don't think he will, Igshan, though. He likes his inverted wingers, doesn't he? Happy birthday, Mark. Score predictions, says Fernando. I'm going to go 2-0 to Manchester United. And Ryan says, McGhost is a born 80th minute last effort super sub. I think that's exactly where he works well. I think that's exactly where he works well, yeah. I was just looking on the United Stand Twitter page, by the way. Give us a follow at United Stand, MUFC. He said that Ten Hag has said that Rashford will play centrally. He's a good striker. He is very multifunctional, and he can play in all the positions across the front line. Garner is on the left. Garnacho is on the left, and Anthony is on the right. So that's what we're doing there. Just a couple of quotes from Gary Neville. I would be very nervous to say it's a turning point with how up and down they've been and how erratic they are. I said 3 days before the Villa comeback that you can't trust them. And Gary Neville also says you have to build up more faith and consistency in results before we can start to say Man United are back. They were still very poor in the first half. I loved the second half. That to me is what watching Manchester United is all about, attacking football. I think he's talking a lot of sense. I've played the game. And Gary's talking a lot of sense there. I've played the game. Manchester United this season, I've played the game. They're not the team they should be. The Superfly, welcome to the members club. No, but he's right. He is right. I think this is a must-win game, but it doesn't mean we're going to win it. I think we've got to accept that, as I've said to you many times before, there will be plenty of ups and downs with Manchester United. I don't think we're going to go on a big, massive run, but we could do. We could do, because if we can win here, and then you've got Tottenham at home, then I think that gives you a great chance. I mean, look, we've got Wolves away after that, and then West Ham, and then Villa away. So the games aren't easy for us. I was looking at our Premier League games. Forest away, Spurs at home. Wolves away, West Ham at home. Villa away, Luton away, Fulham at home, Man City away, Everton at home. So we've got... it's never easy. It's never easy. When you have the start to the season we've had. It's a bit like Chelsea. When you've dropped the points that we've dropped, there's never really an easy run of games to sort it out. So your only way you're going to get a good run of games is if you start playing well. Hi Mark, where do you want United to be come December 2024, and what are your expectations? Oh, Karen, you know what? If you look at, I know it's that sort of time of year for people to do it in general, but also in a footballing sense. If you look at where we are at the moment, and you look at where we were at times last season, a year's a long time, 12 months apparently. But you look at what we've done over this 12 months. We've lost 7-0 to Liverpool. We finished third in the league. We won a Carabao Cup. We lost an FA Cup final. We went into this season expecting to, comfortably be top 4 and do well in Europe. We're nowhere near top 4, and we're out of Europe. It's a very topsy-turvy time to be a Man United fan, isn't it? Ancelotti signed the contract extension with Madrid. Ten Hag outers are furious. Turning point would be... that was from AJ Johnson, by the way. Hi, Mark. Where do you want United done that one? Tomo says, turning point would be to leave Garnacho on the right. Clapboy says, that bench is dreadful. The fact Scooby-Doo is the best player on it says a lot about where we are as a club, and we need to change. Loved all the content this year, Mark. Happy New Year, says Dara. Happy New Year to you as well. And Andy Kane, thank you very much for your super chat there. And After Effects says, I really think we shouldn't have let Alanga go. Maybe they should have sent him on loan or put in a buyback clause. See, I might be in the minority here, but I think we did the right thing. I think we did the right thing. He never got played. He was here. He never got picked. We never used him. We cashed in for 15 million quid. I think we did the right thing. And I'm very glad for him that he's doing very well at Nottingham Forest. But where are Nottingham Forest in the league? They're down in a relegation battle. ex-Man United player plays well for a relegation candidate. I mean, that's not good enough for Manchester United. I just think it's an easy headline. Oh, we shouldn't have sold Elanga because he's playing well for Nottingham Forest. Yeah, well, where are Nottingham Forest? You know, I don't think he's good enough for Manchester United. I really don't. I never thought he was, and I thought we did a good deal. And if Elanga ever plays for Spurs or Arsenal or Liverpool, then I'll be standing corrected, like the man in the orthopaedic shoe. But I don't think I will. US 45 Popeye has gifted a membership. Thank you very much, mate. You're a legend. We're about to start here. And we're ready to go. I hope you are as well. Fantastic. Come on, United. Let's get these 3 points. Last game of 1999. Look at now. Last game of 2023. I'm going 2-0 to Man United. Of course, we haven't spent a lot of time talking about Nottingham Forest, and of course it would be wrong to not highlight the fact that they beat Newcastle 3-1 at St James's Park, which I think is incredible. Get the badge in. Hopefully Linda is happy with the result today, says Justin. Thank you, Justin. And hi, Mark. I'm at my sister's. Could you please say hello to Carmen, says Xander. Hello to Carmen. And Andy Kane says, can you say hi to my sons Leo and Connor? Come on, United. There we go. Shout out to Leo and Connor and Carmen. Let's hope we get the 3 points in. They started that game a little bit early, you know, there, because I was not ready with the timer. I apologise. But I am now. Hey, up! I had that ready. What's going on here? It's pissing about. There we go. Well, Forest just had a chance there. Mainu headed it wide, and they've got an early corner here. Poopy says that Onana has to come out for that. I completely missed it, so sorry about that. Working on the timer. They kicked the game off, but we didn't see the kickoff. Mark, do you think if the 2 seasons Ten Hag were reversed, it would be looking the second coming of Jesus to the media and fans? Says Joe. Yeah, good point. Let's see what happens with this corner. No, they've gone short. There we go. Little dink over to the back post. Yeah, that's fine. That's going for a goal kick. Hi, Mark. What are you up to tonight? Connor, I'm watching the watch along. And get the badge in. Hopefully Linda is happy. Okay, done that. Thank you very much for your super chats. We're all caught up. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking about this game tonight. I'm going to go 2-0 United, but Onana here just dribbling the ball forward. Gives it into an Evans, and then back to Onana from Ericsson. Nice to see Varane just bringing the ball out there. We're certainly going to play a high line. It's interesting that Ten Hag as well talks about the ball over the top, which we've just tried there into Bruno. I mean, are we just a long ball team? Somebody said this to me the other day. He talks about getting people in behind and he talks about transitions. Is that just not a new way of saying we like to hit long balls? We're a long ball team. I don't know. Good pressing here from United. Here's Anthony into Bruno. And that's a corner for United. PQ says already Ericsson is too far forward and we are open in front of the defence. Eric Tenpullis, says Matthias. Well, I don't know about that, but cross comes in. Edge of the box. Ooh. It's got to be worth a shot. Garnacho. Into the box. And that goes for a goal kick. Louis says, I've never known a counter-attacking team to press like this. Stop moaning. I don't think we said counter-attacking team, mate. I think we were talking about transition and long ball. Maybe you need to clean your ears out. We're in Nottingham, aren't we, Mark? Says Smurfy. We'll be having a watch-along for Liverpool-Newcastle, but that's on New Year's Day, mate. 2 days' time. I've got a lot to do before then. Tom says, hope you're well, Mark. I've had a quiet Christmas looking after my dad, but your videos have kept me sane. Wishing you all the best for 2024, says Tom. Well, I hope you... Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you very much for your super chat, and all the best to you and your dad in Happy New Year. Savage says, Forest have got a poor goalkeeper as well, so it's a balanced game tonight. Hoyland is ill. Yeah, if anyone's wanting to know. Yeah, Hoyland is ill. Wasted corner by Man United, by the way. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how we do without Rasmus and with Rashford, because Rashford is not physical. You know, he's got all the physicality of Mr. Burns. Very frail in the attack, whereas Rasmus is, you know, more John Cena. So we're going to miss that physicality. But he is lightning fast. So if you can work an opportunity on the break, he's fast. You know what? I think we are a counter-attacking team anyway. And I'm a Ten Hag fan. I think we are a counter-attacking team. I think we do try and press high up the pitch, but we're not a possession-based team. You know, everything we try and do is about killer pass, killer pass, killer pass. It's all very quick. Forest are on the attack here. And that's a shot over the bar. It's a bit of a slow start from United here. I mean, it's going to be a difficult game, but... yeah, Hoyland's ill still. Some people talking about that. Yeah, Thiago says it's a bit counter-attack against counter-attack. And this is interesting. We've done this a few times from the goal kick. Onana dribbles the ball out and then passes it to Varane and gets it back. I mean, look, this is something about Onana that is... you know, you'd never see De Gea doing that. Dribbling the ball out, stood halfway up the pitch. Jack's a Derby fan. Love the content. Oh, Forest Bridge. Yeah, hilarious. I've never heard that before. Was hoping Binder would start, says Frankie. And terrible ball from Bruno. Well, I think the big thing is, with Rasmus out ill, how long's Martial been ill for? I'm sure, I know he was ill for the West Ham game, but he seems to have been ill a long time. Rhea says, I've played the game. Got a bad feeling about this. Got a bad feeling about this game already. You get a feeling, don't you? And I've just got a bad feeling about it. I don't think we've started well at all. Crazy year for United, as well as the entire world. Wishing everyone a blessed, healthy and happy new year. Thank you, United Stand, for what you do, says TJC. Thank you very much for your super chat, pal. We just haven't settled down here. I mean, look, keep the faith is right. Keep the faith, says Solid Blake. We didn't play very well against Burnley. We didn't play very well against Sheffield United, but we had that moment, and I'll take that tonight. I'm not expecting, I'm not saying we have to play brilliant football, but it could be that sort of a game, couldn't it, where we just scrap a goal or something. Pressure up front is not the same without Rasmus, says Mario. Yeah, it's easy to see. I think that's a very good way of looking at it. We look very lightweight so far as a team. I actually did think he'd pick McTominay just for his physicality. What are your thoughts on Anthony not scoring or assisting since April, but he's turned a corner? Rainer, I think he has turned a corner in the last 3 weeks. I think he's played a lot better, but you can't argue with what you're saying there. The stats just aren't good enough. Said it before, we'll say it again. Bring in Big Sam. Love your content, says Donny. Okay, mate. Okay. What do you think of the Lindelof extension, says Misha? We have spoken about it, and I think that it makes a lot of sense because otherwise you'd be out of contract in the summer. So, you've got to look at things like that, haven't you? Come on, United. Let's get a bit of a bloody bit of passion in this game. You think about that. The thing that annoys me is, well, it doesn't annoy me, but baffles me, is that last 45 minutes against Villa made me so excited for this game. And we've started it like it was a bloody dream. I was so excited for this Forest game after the Villa game. And yet, we've just not started with any purpose at all. It's so lethargic again. And this is the problem, isn't it? We're so bloody inconsistent. Here's Alanga. Decent cross. Oh my God, Varane flicked it and it nearly went in. Big man ting. Yeah, it's not looking good, bruv, says Ria. That could have been an OG there. I was like, oh my God, I'm panicking. Well done, Varane there, though. I'm panicking. It'd be just bloody typical of United to lose tonight, though, wouldn't it? And then you've got all the Ten Hag outers again, and then you win, we beat Wigan. It's just, as I said, there's no point being Ten Hag out. Nothing's going to happen until the summer anyway. So please start winning some fucking games and making this season interesting. I can't deal with this one good game, one bad game, one mediocre game. One good game, one bad game, one mediocre game. It's been the story of the season. Jahanta says we're lacking a bit of strength in the team. I think you're probably right. What do you think about Rashford as a striker, everybody? I think it's a real bloody shame that Anthony Martial's not available, and I wonder what's happened there. I like Martial, but I can't understand how he's ill for this long. I don't think we're going to see him in a United shirt again. Here we go, Bruno, cross. Oh, Garnacho. So close to getting on the end of it. I thought he was going to get on the end of it. Here's Rashford. Puts a cross in. Lay it off. Wan-Bissaka, good play. Bruno into Anthony. Not going to get there. And that goes for a goal kick. We are a bag of revels. So unpredictable, says Jim. Martial has been out since the Bayern game, says Darth Vader. Well, so Martial's been injured for not injured. Martial's been ill for 3 weeks. We could have done with Martial tonight, is what I'm saying. Rashford's no striker. Look, Rashford might score. There's a difference between scoring when you're up front and being a striker. Rashford can score if he can get in a one-on-one or you give him a chance, but he's not a striker in the sense of hold-up play, link-up play, physicality. He'll never have that. London Investment says, asking what better, cheating Neil Warnock, get 8 players, get red for game, be suspended 2002, or Jose Real Madrid in 2010. I don't know. I don't get the context. I would have gone Anthony. That was from London Investment. If anyone else does, I would have gone Anthony left wing and Garnacho right wing. Says Mario Franco. I don't think you're the only one. Marcio just had Christmas off, says Fun. Casper, thanks for your super chat. Have you saw the rumours with Bojan? No, Gucci. Haven't. Tim says, can you stop the negativity? We're literally 14 minutes in. I don't think it's negativity, Tim. If you don't like people talking about a football game and observing it, then you probably shouldn't watch football. I'd start Scooby-Doo over Rashford as a striker, says Chris. Look, Tim, I hope we can get better, but I just don't like... I don't think we've started that well. Tempo-wise, I don't think it's that good. Bruno, oh, should have put the cross in. That's better, though. Better play. Better. Glory Boy says there could be a transfer arranged for Tony Martial. But there is for Van der Beek. Van der Beek's going on loan, but he's been on the bench the last few games. No fluidity between Amra Wan-Bissaka and Anthony, says Andrew. Anthony always plays better with Delo on the right-hand side. You've observed that very well. Watch Alanga plays better than your wingers, says Joe. Oh, yeah, exactly, mate. He's been stunning in the first 15 minutes. I mean, I don't know why we're calling him Alanga. We may as well call him, like, Robban or something like that. He's just been tearing us apart. Rashford isn't a striker. He's barely a winger. He has a decent shot and good pace, and that's it, says Billy. Here's Garnacho. Look at that. Delo there, overlap. Oh, he's not going to get that, though. I'll tell you what, though. What a big shout out to Mainu again. It's incredible how important he's become in this team in such a short period of time. Obviously, no Amrabat back again. No Luke Shaw. They've still got their knocks. So Mainu has been a bloody revelation. I mean, if you think about it, he's only 18 and he's first team player as a holding midfielder. It's incredible. We've been done down the right hand side here. Loads of time. I think this is the cross that's going to come in. And they've overhit that one a little bit. Was it a penalty for Villa, Mark? I've not seen it yet. I've not seen any of the goals this afternoon, so I'll be watching them later. I think McTominay might be a useful player in this game. I wouldn't have started him, but Mainu's being man-marked, says Claire. Ten Hag won't sell Rashford, no, Jenny. Janita, sorry. No, I'm not on TalkSport tonight, Hamza. No, United stands my priority. So we've got the match reaction straight after this, and then we've got the fan forum. So I've not seen it, but Ree says yes, definitely a penalty for Villa. Absolutely spot on. A little bit of a criticism about Wan-Bissaka. I've said this a few times. He's not the player he was last season. Wan-Bissaka from last January till the end of the season was unbelievable. I think this season he's been, pretty average, really. Hi, Mark. I'm from Australia. My new favourite thing is to watch you and the game at the same time, says Nathan. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And why in the world is Aaron Wan-Bissaka jogging back instead of sprinting after losing the ball, says Amrit. And don't forget, it could be a mental thing with Martial. Look at how Ten Hag handled Sancho when he had personnel issues, says NYYK. And with all the injuries that United have, it's crazy that Bruno has missed only a single game in 3 years, says Bart. He is a robot. A robot, is he? Mark, what was the last game you missed doing a watch-along for, says ESC. Unless anyone in the chat knows better, I think the last Man United game I missed as a watch-along was Norwich before Christmas. 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever that was. Our need for 2 strikers is apparent with Rashford through the middle. United playing like strangers again tonight, says Slippy Stevie. Rasmus is ill, Liam. Bad pass out by Evans. What do you think about Rashford's performance so far this season, says Mohammed? Well, it's not been good enough. But where Rashford's playing tonight, he could do nothing and then he can do something. And what I mean by that is he can do nothing all game and then pounce and score. Need to push the defensive line up. Can't really... Well, you can do because it's Wood through the middle, but... Gurr says, we'll never be a possession-based team with Bruno in the team. I was talking about this the other night. There's no way Bruno Fernandes would get in the Pep Guardiola team. He's just not that player. He's a good player, but he's not a possession-based player. He wants to play the ball all the time. What do you think about Garnacho as a number 9, says Milford? I like Garnacho under the... on the wing. It was Norwich under Ranić. It was Rayan, so that was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah. Man United is a mediocre team. Bring back Jose, says Kef. Ryan says Bruno's not playing very well and Rashford's gone missing. Here's Delo into Mainu. Keep it moving. Here's Bruno. Might be worth a shot from there. No. Goes into Anthony. Into Wan-Bissaka. And that'll go for another corner, surely. Hi, Mark. I saw... yeah, Rudy, I'm not talking about stuff like that. And Beachy, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. For some reason, Ericsson is sleeping. Jesus is not happy with Rashford, saying he's jogging around. We definitely miss Rasmus. I think that if anybody can't see that, we do. His physicality, his tenacity, he's a much better presser of the ball. Wan-Bissaka switches it. I mean, Forest look quite comfortable at the moment in defending what we've got. Mainu is smooth, says Anarug. Welcome to the Members Club, Beachy. Sean's not very happy about the game so far. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We were only 10 subscribers away from 805,000. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thank you very much. We've got nothing in the final third, says Cal. And there's Ericsson. I just wanted to have a quick look at the... well, I didn't want to. I will. I wanted to have a quick look at the stats because I imagine that we are dominating possession-wise. No. They've had more possession than us. Bloody hell. I would have thought we'd be up at about 60% possession. 50-50 possession. No shots on target. No shots at all. They've played more passes than us. They've got a better passing accuracy. I'm very surprised. Well... Put a dress on me and call me Maria. That surprised me there. That's really surprised me. I really felt like they were parking the bus and we had the ball. Lack of movement from players to receive the ball. No press from the front. Lack of energy, says Chris. There we go. That's that transitional ball that Bruno loves to play over the top into Anthony. I really think it's all we've got. I think this is why Ten Hag talks about it so much. I think it's our favourite move. 40-yard ball over the defensive line, sprint onto it. Why is Pellistri not playing at the moment, says Rudy? I've always said I don't think Ten Hag rates him. Latin, welcome to the members club. Thank you very much. I mean, I think Forest are playing shit here as well. It's hard to imagine that this team went to Newcastle and won 3-1. It is, isn't it? It is hard to imagine. But we did. Nice ball here to Garnacho. Bit of space. Take him on. Take him on. Into Dalot. Lays it to Rashford. Back to Dalot. That's the good ball. Ericsson. Too much power on the pass. Legitimately feel like I'm watching school boys where everyone just crowds the man with the ball. That right wing space is so dead, says Axel of War. Look at that they've got on the screen. Man United are 21st for goals. 18th for goals. 20th for XG. 20th for shot conversion. And 19th for first half goals. It's incredibly shit. I'm not doing what I'm laughing. I think even Ahmad can play as a number 9. Is that right, says Shahin? Yes, he played as a 9 years ago when he did his end of the season against Wolves. I think it was Rangnick's last game. It's a dire game, this one, though. It's not one for the purists, that's for sure. Johnny Evans, that'll be a corner. Scrappy-Doo. Forget Scooby-Doo, it's Scrappy-Doo at the moment. So corner here to Nottingham Forest. See what happens with this. In it comes. Gibbs White crosses it. Headed away. They're still going to pick it up on the edge of the box. Cross comes back in. Looks quite good. Headed away by Varane. Oh, I tell you what, he caught that. Good block by Wan-Bissaka. They still got it, Forest. And another block by Ericsson. Caught hold of it. Oh, dear me. 26 minutes gone. Certainly none of the ebb and flow of the Villa game. Another shot, another block. It's that inconsistency again, isn't it? It's always like the players could just switch it on and off when they want to. Would you trade all you've done with United Stand if you could go back in time and be a guaranteed professional footballer and play for Man United? Oh, 100%, Rahul, yeah. 100%. USS 45 Popeye says, I've never owned a Nintendo, but I'd go for owning a Nintendo, an NES, Nuno Espirito Santo for 0-3. Okay. Jack Wheeler says, Wan-Bissaka is your best player. I'd take him at Villa in a heartbeat. Do you want to make a bid? Do you want to make a bid? Marvin says it was the players at Old Trafford. It was the fans at Old Trafford that played that carried the players. Well, you might be right. We can't get anything going here. Good play by Ericsson though to keep that. Nice switch of the play by Varane. Lovely ball by Varane into Garnacho. Goes past one, but can't get past the second player. And Forest bring it out. And you know, one thing I will say is we're a much better team with Varane in it, aren't we? Here we go. Garnacho. He's not going to get there. Goes for a throw-in. What do you think of Amrabat, Mark? Says Daniel. Do you think Ten Hag will keep him? No, I think Amrabat just reminds me of Sabitzer. Just, you know, come to the club. Could have been a really good signing. Injuries. Yeah, it's just not working out, is it? And you struggle to see how it's going to work out, especially when people like Casemiro are going to be back soon. Just not grabbed it. Jan says that Garnacho looks ill. Wayne Wright, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Well, he may well be ill. I mean, God knows what illness we've got going round. Delo didn't look that great there, did he? There's COVID still exists though. You know, that maybe it's something like that. Classic United. These players cannot motivate themselves. Passing poor again. Feels like a training ground exercise. Nothing at stake, says Andrew O'Brien. There's certainly, yeah, I think you make a good point. There's certainly no urgency there. And I never understand it. I'm like, you know, you're 2-0 down at half-time against Villa, who are in the top 4. You beat them 3-2. You get all the plaudits. You get all the praise. The next game, you should be, you know, hungry like a wolf to play it. And they're lethargic. And I just don't know how... I just don't get it. I don't get the mentality thing. No flow, no passion. Poor from United so far, says Philippe. Well, look, I'd take a scrappy 1-0 win here, and it might well end up being that. For all, you know, it reminds me a lot of the West Ham game last week. West Ham was very similar to this. First goal will be important. Interesting switch of the play there. Forrester got it on the right wing. Lays it off. And a shot over the bar. It's a standard mid-table slugfest, says Anthony. Aiden's got a feeling that Alanga's going to score. Well, I think I'm right in saying we haven't had a shot on target yet. I don't think we've had a shot at all. Kentucky Fried United, says Luke. And Anthony literally offers nothing and creates nothing, says Anthony Jury. I guess the jury's out on Anthony. Yeah, in fairness to Rashford, he's in the graveyard shift. Just because he's playing up front, you know, I don't think he's got the physicality to do it, but he's also playing in a position where you don't get a lot of service. Steph says, where would you recommend living in the UK? Oh, 100%. Best place to live in the UK is, yeah. I mean, do you want me to be mean or honest? You can't go wrong with Stoke. Stoke's a good place. Delo. Ericsson. Shoot, Wan-Bissaka. Got blocked. No, don't go and live in Stoke. I mean, I don't think Stoke's terrible, but I wouldn't go and live in Stoke. If you're Manchester's a good place to live. If you're a Man United fan. Traffic's getting worse, but we're a kick and chase team with no tactics, says Nathan. And I'm a Liverpool supporter, but I watch most Man United games to watch it with you, Mark. Lots of love. Do you believe in New Year resolutions? Says Shady. I used to. I don't anymore. Could be a red card here. Let's have a look. Oh no, he's caught his head. No, it's not going to be a red. I thought he'd followed through with the studs on the tackle, but he caught him on the head. Mark, as you were born in Nottingham, did you ever go to City Ground? One of my favourite grounds, away games in the league, says Paul Matt. And what was that previous one? Liverpool supporter. Sorry. I'll answer both of these. Resolutions. I don't really believe in them, but some people do, and it can be quite motivating. So if you do, that's great. I think for me, going into a new year, it's just, you know, you hope that you get through it with all the people that matter. That's what matters to me. And I have been to the City Ground, of course, because I lived in Nottingham, so I have been to the City Ground. I've been to Meadow Lane. Do I like it as a ground? I wouldn't say it's in my top 5 I've been to. I mean, I wouldn't put it anywhere near Goodison Park or somewhere like that. Think a lot of people sleep on Bruno. Think he's been so average this season and certainly a bad captain, says 58 Go. Odd has been a member for 15 months. Hope you're doing well. And since Manchester United are in talks of signing a new striker, what do you think about Jimenez? It's from Latin. He's a player that gets banded around a lot, but I don't see a big queue of clubs looking to buy him. And United look hungover from last season. Could be the reason for the inconsistency, says Ed. And have you visited the Camp Nou, says Football Fanatics. I haven't, no. I will do at some point, but no, I haven't. Mark Oliver's in the chat, says his mum does his hair. You know what? I did the... what preview was it where I said this? I think it was the preview for the Villa game. And I spoke about it for about 3 minutes. And I don't normally do this on a preview, but I said, we don't know what we're doing with the ball. We don't take care of the ball, and we don't know what we're doing with the ball. We don't know what... you don't know where anyone's going to be. There's no shape. There's no chemistry. You can't play like Brighton and Spurs and Man City and Liverpool and Arsenal if you don't know where your players are going to be. Like, Declan Rice will know where Odegaard's going to be. These patterns of play are born on the training ground. Man United, if you're Johnny Evans or Varane, you don't know where Bruno is. All they know is if you can hit it over the top, hit it over the top because we've got quick players. But we don't take care of the ball. We don't look after the ball, and we don't really know where anyone's going to be. I mean, we've just blasted the ball 40 yards up the pitch. I mean, I tell you what, I don't like watching Man City. But watch what United have done with the ball for the last 10 minutes and then tell me if Man City would do that in the last 10 months. Like, we took a throw in and it just got blasted up the pitch. They'd never do it. They'd never do that. Pep Guardiola's team would never just smack the ball 40 yards up front. Welcome to the Members Club, son of Utrecht. "36 minutes gone here. Fuse Jan, thank you very much for joining the Members Club as well. Right, here's Garnacho. Anthony is the worst winger in the league, says Camia. Why is it Anthony just gets completely and utterly singled out every game? It makes me laugh. You need to have a look at why that is. I'm not saying he's great, but it's always Anthony, isn't it? You're so manipulated by the media. It's incredible. Thanks for all the content, Mark. Shout out from Alabama, says Hunter. Good play by Rashford. Cuts it back. Big Cat says do a poll. Recommend a poll, mate. I'm not here to fucking make up polls for you. I'm watching a game of football. If you want a poll, tell us what you want to poll on. Do a poll. Do one. I'm watching the best game of my life here. Who do you think has been our best player today, says Jaden. Oh, mate, you're depressing me. I think we've been absolute shite. I think we've been absolutely crap. I'm sorry, Mark, but this football is terrible, says Tony. And the Nottingham Forest fans don't stop. They're really loud, says Dan the man. We need a goal. We need a scrappy goal to defend. Because if they score first, we'll lose. We're a typical kick and rush team. We don't know how to dictate a game. We can't do basics right. I hope we win, says Nigel. Well, we're in possession. Look at United here. Prime example. We're in possession of the ball. Varane. He's going to go forward with it. There's nobody really moving for him. He goes to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's out of control here. Doesn't know where he's going. Gives it back to Evans. Evans gets the ball. Plays it into Rashford, who's dropped deep. Nice ball out to Anthony. That's actually quite good. Now, what's Anthony going to do here? Little bit of skill. Yeah, probably held on to it for too long. Yeah. Way too long. Yeah, way too long. The pass to Ericsson was there 5 minutes ago. Wins a throw-in. See? And that's prime example. Like, the pass is there, and they don't pass. And then Wan-Bissaka and Anthony run into each other. And we've lost the ball. And I think that is a prime example of United in possession. Nobody does... Nobody knows what they're doing with the ball, and they don't know where anyone else is. So we can't retain the possession because we don't know what we're doing. Do a poll on are you male or female? I can tell you, Spencer, 93% will be male watching this. People going in on Anthony makes me laugh. The majority of our attacking progress has been through him and our right side today. People ignore facts, says James. And United need to invest in masks to stop this illness from spreading around the club. This is getting ridiculous. Love the content, says Art Will. Sorry, Mark, Anthony's never taken a player on, says IQ. Lindelof's signing says it all at United, says Joe. And Eric says, do a poll, and if you should do a poll. Watching Man United is like watching paint dry, says Lewis. It's a scrappy game, I'll tell you that. It's a very scrappy game as we approach half-time. Grumpy Bridge. I'm grumpy because this is shit, mate. You know, I'm always going to watch Man United, as I'm sure all you are if you're a United fan, but I can't hide my disappointment, I'm sorry. It's like opening a box at Christmas and thinking it's a PS5 and it's a bloody... blender. Bro, we are not Man City. You want to see that football? Go watch them, says Tevin. Tevin, you know, there's one for you as well. What the fuck are you talking about? What sort of knobhead comment is that? We're not Man City. If you want to see that, go watch them. What does that even mean? What do you even mean? You sound like the biggest loser in the world. You sound like this is what we are. We're shit. And if you don't like it, go and watch something else. What made you support Manchester United, Tevin? Was it you just like the colour red? Fuck's sake, mate. Get some fucking standards. I bet you eat beans on toast every night, don't you? Fucking hell. There's nothing wrong with not being happy with the way that we're playing today. There's nothing wrong with not being happy about what we've been doing for the last 10 years. We used to have standards at this football club. And as for saying, oh, Man City, we used to play the best football. We played the best football in the league for 20 years. For 20 years we played the best. Is it too much to ask for Manchester United to play wingers who can put a cross in the box? Is it too much to ask for Manchester United to play with some intensity? Is it too much to ask for Manchester United to have players who can string 4 or 5 passes together and know where they are? I mean, I'm not asking for fucking Rome. I'm not asking you to rebuild Rome. I'm just saying, Man United, crosses into the box, players who can get on the end of crosses, you know, a higher line, a bit of intensity, 3 or 4 players who can actually pass and string a few passes together. Pass and move football. Fucking hell. It's not too much to ask for. Mark, I messed up the first super chat and left it blank by mistake, says Andy. No worries, Andy. Hope you're doing well. George says, Anthony is allergic to playing a pass in the final third, and then United fans get upset when he's labelled the worst winger in the league. And United is like someone that can half speak a language. They know a bit, but can't do it instinctively. Someone who's fluent would know what to do always, says Robert. Yeah, I think that's a very good analogy, Robert. Forrester on the attack. I mean, they've not done a hell of a lot themselves, to be honest. It does remind me of the West Ham game. Ronaldo number 7, thanks for your super chat. Corner here. Whose fault is it, Mark? Well, people will blame the coach, but I would say, well, all right, let's sack Ten Hag, let's give Pep the job. Do you think we're going to play better football? They can't play football. These players can't play football. So, yeah, I mean, look, you can put it on the coach if you want to, but Rashford, Bruno, they can't play that. They can't play that brand of football. Rashford wouldn't start for Man City. Bruno wouldn't start for Man City. I don't know whether they'd start for Brighton. And you can laugh at that, but I don't know whether they would. I think De Zerbi would get pissed off with them not keeping the ball and keeping the possession. Poll idea, VAR or 2 refs on the field, DHB says. And I do wonder what we do at Carrington and training, says Rob. And Marco says, I rushed home to make it in time for the game. My wife has just told me I don't look like I'm enjoying it. She's right. Every game, she's right, says Marco. I'm watching from America, and all I can say is thank God this wasn't a 4 a.m. Kickoff. Love the channel, Mark. Only thing keeping me awake right now, says Christopher. And Jack says, send the squad to SAS boot camp in pre-season. Screw playing in America. Get them to train with proper soldiers for a month. Right, United have got the ball here. And it's a crap ball. It is like watching a bunch of strangers who've never played together before. Amazing how we changed the chemistry just a little and the whole team loses its edge, says Garment. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's not like, the thing is as well, we have to be fair. We're not saying that, you know, Forest are all over us or anything like that. We're just, we're not doing anything ourselves. You can tell it's a boring game because there's only a minute been added on. We haven't even had any bloody bad tackles or offsides. Right, here we go. Garnacho's on the right at the moment. Terrible cross. How can we go from Villa game to this utter shit, says Connor. I don't know, mate. I don't know. In fairness, I suppose, like Marvin said a few minutes ago, we're not at Old Trafford, are we? Have we had a good away game this season? Everton. But you know what? That Everton game wasn't actually that good. A worldie by Garnacho. We were clinical with our chances, but they had a lot of chances, Everton. They did have a lot of chances. People talk about Anthony not having skill, but Garnacho has a worst 1v1 skill. Sure, he can finish, but focused on his take-ons, he never gets past them, says Anthony. And it feels like every player is on a different island, says Salim. And it's 1:30 a.m. where I'm from, and this team just makes me want to turn on my PS5 instead, says Mud. Be really bad if you said you wanted to put EAFC on. And Dag says, if the result stands half-time, sub Anthony for McTominay and set him as striker. McTominay can be perfect if used right this match, says Dag. Look, get your thoughts in, of course. I'm going to give you mine, but I've seen a few people mention this in the chat, so I'm going to answer it. Scott McTominay is not a striker. Why is it that people think Scott McTominay can play as a striker? He can't hold the ball up. He's ridiculously slow. He can't play with his back to goal. He can't pass. Why would Scott McTominay work as a striker on the halfway line? The only thing McTominay would be good at is if the ball falls to his feet in the penalty box. But Rashford would be good at that. We don't create the sort of chances for the striker that McTominay would want. And every other attribute, he'd be shit. Can you imagine McTominay leading the press? I don't get where this McTominay as striker thing comes from. It really, look, maybe it happens and it works, but I don't see any attributes at all for Scott McTominay to be a striker. Balls in the box, as if Hoyland's on the pitch, says MUFC and Music. Joshua, thank you very much for your chat as well. And Matt says, the problem is Anthony is too indecisive and Garnacho is over-direct. They both need to do a bit more of what the other does. It's crazy. Why did we sell Chong? That boy can whip in across, says Thomas. Rashford needs to go as well. Overpriced, says Humanity. And people talk about that. We've done that. How we can go from this to this. Okay, look, my thoughts on that first half are, and let's just get the stats here. Don't forget our stats carousel is sponsored by OneFootball, which you can download for free. The transfer window is coming. Get all your latest breaking football news and transfer news on the OneFootball app, which you can download through the link in the description or by scanning the QR code in the top right-hand corner. They're the match stats. You can get the individual player stats on the OneFootball app as well. But we're looking at the match stats here. 53% possession for us, 6 shots to our 1. We've had 1 on target to their 0. Corners, we've had 1. Pass completion, it's a very, to be honest with you, just a stalemate. just a complete and utter stalemate. That's what we've got here, and not a very good one. Quite a dull one. So it's been a very equal game, and I think you know, you've got to look at Man United and you've got to say, how do you put in a performance like we did against Aston Villa and then put in a performance like this? And for me, you know what it comes down to? I think a little bit about Old Trafford, playing away from home, we're not that good. But I also think they're just a bunch of players that need a kick up the arse. I think that I think they just need a kick up the arse. I think they just play. They were 2-0 down at half-time at Old Trafford, so they had to come out in the second half and go for it. Whereas it's 0-0 against Forest, and they can sort of play within themselves. I think we must have accumulated the weakest mentality of players we've ever had at this football club. I was so excited for this game, and I'm so surprised to see that. I'm not saying that they're not trying, but they're just a weird bunch of players. They just seem to go through the motions. There's no tenacity there. There's no energy there. And there's certainly they've got absolutely no idea what someone else is going to do. You know, Johnny Evans has got the ball. He doesn't know where anybody is. Bruno gets the ball. He doesn't really know where anyone's going to be. There's no pattern to play. There's no triangles. There's no passing in between the lines. There's no give and goes. There's no 1-2s. It's dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. And I don't know. I just don't know. What I think it's just indicative of what this season is going to be. And people say, well, what would you do from the bench? I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know what I would do from the bench, really. I don't really see what we can do. There's not really an attacking change we can make. I think we massively miss Rasmus, and it's not all about goals. I think he just brings a different dynamic and leads the press really well. But from looking quite good in the second half against Villa, we look shite in the first half here. And that's the story of our season. We can, you know, what did Ten Hag say in the press conference and before the game? We've shown that we can go toe-to-toe with the best teams in the world, in the country. We haven't. We absolutely haven't. Because this is United. This is the United we're used to. The one that can't go toe-to-toe with fucking Luton. Hi, Mark. I really wish we had cashed out on Rashford when PSG were interested. He only put in effort to get a contract, says Lawrence. How many shots have United had? Well, we've had one. And I think that was a deflected one from Wan-Bissaka. Hi, Mark. I really wish we'd cashed in. That was that from that. Tom Boone. It's simple. Villa played into our hands with the high line. Any team that does a low block, we're terrible against. Very good point. Very good point, Tom. I hate Gary Neville's commentary, says Wesley. Thankfully, I don't need to listen to it. They can't break a low block. That's it. Give them a high line and they'll do wonders. Abhishek, and another one, absolutely spot on. Which players on his current squad do you think Sir Alex Ferguson would show the door to, says Peter? Well, probably most of them compared to what he used to have. Mark, do you have an opinion on Rooney at your Birmingham? He's been rubbish, says Black Pearl. I think they should stick with him. See what you can do in the January transfer window. Pellistri should be playing in the second half, but Ten Hag will play him in the 92nd minute, says Anil Sakar. Janet Birch, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Everything is too slow, says Caleb. No current creativity, urgency, or intentionality in the attack. I love Anthony's work ethic, but the ball dies at his feet. Tom says they can't do the simple things. Instead of playing an easy pass to find the space and carry the attack, they stop and play backwards. Waka says Premier League posted a comparison between Bruno and Gibbs-White. Imagine being compared to De Bruyne and Gibbs-White simultaneously. And Thomas says, my issue is Ten Hag was supposed to be the guy who ignored wages and favouritism to get the best result on the pitch, but clearly he isn't that guy. And this team couldn't pass a plate of food, says Zhao. We are playing awful against the low block. Our players seem like they got no ideas, says Lee. Start paying the players by performance levels and see how much effort they put in then, says Connor. Joshua, thank you very much. You know what? I think that there are ways that you can improve. Of course there are. And Salim says Bruno is hiding. He's supposed to be the creative one. Thank you, Benny Oken, as well. I think so many of you see it. Villa play a high line. Spurs play a high line. I'd predict we'll beat Spurs at Old Trafford. When we come up against the low block, we struggle against the low block. And this predates Erik Ten Hag. This has been happening for a very long time. The reason we struggle against the low block is because this is not rocket science. Football's very, very simple. Manchester United do not have the players to be patient and keep the ball. And what you need is, you need probers. And we don't have probers. We treat the ball like a hot potato. We're like this. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. And what you need to treat it like is a Terry's chocolate orange. Oh, I want it. Oh, let me have a look at it. Oh, you know, this is what Man United need to do, and we don't do it. And what I'm saying is, if I'm Bruno Fernandes and I get the ball, I'm giving it to Eriksen and I'm moving into space to receive it into space. And then he gives it me back. I go to Garnacho and then I want it back. And I give it, and I look up. Has Rashford made a move? No, he hasn't. Right, I go back to Garnacho, give it me back, spin, Anthony. You know, just keep the ball rotating, knowing where your players are. And I think I really do like Bruno, and he does create a lot of chances. But as a number 10, I want my number 10 to know where everybody is on the pitch, and I also want him to dictate. And it just doesn't happen. And he's not the only problem, but against a low block, you've got to be. Right, give me the ball, lay it off. Right, okay, have it back. There we go, lay it off, keep moving. Come on, let's move him around a bit. Let's start moving him around. Come on, give me the ball. Come on, let's move. Pass, give it me back. Nobody knows where anybody is to do that. And it's like, I see teams like Villa doing this. I see Spurs doing this. I see Newcastle doing this. Newcastle at St. James's Park was brilliant at it. Joel Linton would have the ball, he'd ping it into their striker, who'd lay it off 2 meters to their right, and you go, where's that going? And then Joel Linton's running onto it. This pass and move, you know, creating angles. We're terrible at it. You know, Bruno should be knocking a ball into Rashford straight. Rashford should be knocking it 2 meters to his right, and Bruno should be running onto that. But, you know, it's so impressive when you see somebody else do it, because we never do it. We can't even do pass it into Rashford, give it me back. We can't even do give it to Garnacho, run into space. We can't even do a 1-2. So, and other teams are knocking it into someone's feet who are knocking it 2 meters to their right, and then they've got to run onto it. You've got to do these things against the low block. You've got to create patterns. But to do that, you've got to have players who aren't selfish. You've got to have players who are patient. We haven't got enough of those players. We've got too many players in our team who, when they get the ball, they're very predictable. What they actually want to do is have a shot. Anthony wants a shot. Garnacho wants a shot. Rashford wants a shot. Bruno wants a shot. So, as a defender, you're like, all I've got to do is not jump in. Don't commit myself. Because they're going to try and shoot. And I know he's going to shoot off his left, and I know he's going to shoot off his right. And it's very easy to read. And, you know, it's too simplistic to say, United struggle against the low block. Why do we struggle against the low block? It's not like we're allergic to the words low block. We struggle against the low block because the opposition know 99% of the time what we're going to do. So they know we're going to shoot. They know we're not going to make certain runs, and it makes it very easy for them. Let's have a look. Mark, maybe Mount was bought to replace Bruno. Don't think so, Dave. Anthony's one leg makes him always cut into the crowd while he ignores the space on his right foot, says Christopher. Look, I saw Anthony get the ball on the left wing. I think I was commentating on it, and I said, Eriksen's open. Give him the ball. That's the pass. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it, and we end up losing the ball. We ignore the obvious pass when it should be instinctive. I don't even like it when the player's got it, the simple pass is there, and they delay it, and they go, oh, there's the pass. It should be instinctive. You've got to move the ball quick. I've played the game. When you play defence, whether it's five-a-side, whether it's high-level football or whatever, if you've ever played in defence, your brain is telling you, I hope they don't fucking play that pass first time because I'm exposed. And you've got to get to that place before they play that pass. And that's what teams like Liverpool and Man City and Brighton do really well. They play the ball quick and it exposes the space. I'd love to play against Man United because I know where they're going to pass, but I also know it's impossible as a defender to be in the right place all the time. There will be times in a game where if the ball gets played, you're out of position because you're moving around. But Man United don't move the ball quick enough. It's not instinctive. It's laboured. It's got a stamp on where we're going to do. We're so slow. But this is not exclusive to Ten Hag. And I think that's the bigger picture. It's not exclusive to Ten Hag because it used to happen with Ollie and it used to happen with Jose. And therefore, people will say, well, it's the manager. I would say, well, it's always the manager, isn't it? But what about the players that we keep? You can't become a possession-based team if you won't sell players. And we won't. Who have we sold in the last 3 years that really should have been sold? We keep the players. Some of these players have sacked 2 or 3 managers. And at some point, you've got to get rid of the players because the football is predominantly shite. We should get Bowen instead of Anthony, says Iggy. Bruno is the one to blame now. Ball retention is about principle of play, not individuals. Our manager wants fast transition, and that's what you get, says T. But he wants fast transition because that's the only thing he can do with these players. At Ajax, he had 80% possession and, camped in the opposition's half. He's doing what he can with the players that he's got. I've got £153 for United to win. Cash out now, says Ryan. I still think we could win it. I don't think it's going to be a very entertaining game, but I still think we could win it. Anthony's no better than Dan James, says Jajit. Mark, maybe Mount was bought to replace Bruno, says Dave. Anthony's, I've done that one. Looking at the signings in the summer, we should have bought Kovacic and Lamina instead of Mount. Way cheaper in every way, says AZ. Mark, it's simple. We lack football intelligence, says Jabo. Rashford off the left, that's his position. Why did he change it? He struggles off the right and central. Off the left versus Villa, he was elite, says WM. Honestly, bring McTominay on for Anthony and put him up front. I don't think that will work, Duncania. Hi, Mark. I missed the first half. How was it? Says Ab. You'll never miss a better first half of football. I'm going to go and play Red Dead Redemption. It's much more entertaining and emotional than this crap, says Jack. Hi, Mark. What's your favourite Man United kit? Says Jojo. 1993, royal blue with black paint splattering on it. King Jar, welcome to the Members Club. We play like we're scared to lose, and it's boring, says Showtime to win. Hamlet says, Happy New Year, Mark. Been watching you since 2019. Loved everything you do. Keep it up. Hopefully second half FC incoming, says Hamlet. And we're still not able to create chances away, and especially against the low block, says Mohit. Eric Ten Hag and coaches should do something about it. Hoyland is an absentee today. Bruno is hiding. He's supposed to be the greatest one. Okay, thank you very much for all those we've caught up. Appreciate that. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're very close to 805,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Scott McTominay is coming on second half. So, for Mainu. I just don't. I don't get it. Just don't fucking get it. I really just don't get me. I don't get it. I just don't get that. I don't get that. Fucking hell. What is... Has McTominay got pictures of Ten Hag in uncompromising positions or something? I mean, what is going on there? You know what? It'll probably work. It'll probably work. He's not even gone up front, McTominay. He's playing as the holding midfielder. He must be. He must be injured. He must be injured. Must be. Mark, games like this, is it players, coaches, or Ten Hag? Says Ian. I think it's accumulation of it, mate. Our first touch is terrible. That's why we can't hold the ball, says Nemish. And why isn't anyone talking about Rashford's body language? Says Reza. Every day we talk about Anthony, but nothing about Mank, born and bred Rashi, eh? Is he making a good point there, Reza? They said it's tactical. We will win now. McTominay is on, says Stephen. Well, we might have won with Mainu on. Forest hadn't created any chances. McTominay's playing as a holding midfielder, so it's not even like it's a tactical change to get him high up the pitch. It's probably for height. I did say in the preview, though, that I thought you would pick him. That Sib makes zero sense, says Hunter. How are we back to half-hearted walking and jogging again with no urgency, says Sean. We just need to win this game. It might, not every game's great. Let's hope it can go down as one of those games that we go winning when you're playing badly. Swaney says it's a great sub. So boring, says Paul. Zero creativity and motivation. These players are a disgrace. I'm fed up, says Paul. Ericsson, terrible pass. I tell you what. Here we go. Rashford. The fuck is that? I've just seen one of the worst passes in footballing history. The fuck is that? That's a great position there, and he does a no-look back heel. The fucking hell was that? Shit the bed. Fucking hell. I come back for a few minutes and we are playing with 3 attacking midfielders. We're going to get run through more than a finish line, says Jack. Yeah, I was going to say before, watch this here. All he's got to do is lay it off. What is he doing? My nan could have done that, says Dean. So could mine, and she's dead. Lacking patience and creativity in the final third. Wingers not looking up before crossing. Get Ericsson on the ball more. Varane and Mainu look composed, says Shane. I thought Mainu was playing well. I don't know why he's took him off. Personally, I'd rather Palestri over Garnacho, says Louis. I'm just going to have a look at the individual stats on OneFootball, which you can download, of course. But I just want to have a look at some of the individual stuff, because I don't see what Mainu was doing wrong. So I'm just going to have a quick look if I've missed something. Forrester on the ball here. Johnny Evans does well. McTominay in there. You know, McTominay's a penalty waiting to happen, isn't he, as well? That's what worries me about McTominay. He's given a lot of penalties up this season. This might be an interesting thing. Mainu only played 12 passes in the first half. Anthony played 24. Garnacho 11. Bruno 33. Ericsson 30. So we weren't getting him on the ball. He had 23 touches. Ericsson had 36. He made no tackles. You know, those sort of things interest me. You can see that on OneFootball. Go and check out the individual stats. Links in the chat. But maybe just couldn't get on the ball. Why you hate our top scorer so much? Not even a striker, says Charles. On a level, though, why does he play Rashford up top or on the right? He isn't comfortable anywhere other than the left. I don't think there's anyone else to play, WM. That's not a penalty, by the way. That's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. I've played the game. That's not a penalty. They're on the attack here. Cross comes in. Varane. Bruno. And cleared. A year ago, I was thinking Kim Min-jae, Osman. Now I've got Evans and we're linked to Solanke, says Dazzo. Forest seems to be getting a bit of momentum here. I was going to say, I don't know how they beat Newcastle. 3-1 win at St James's Park, and they've not looked very good themselves. But they're starting to look a bit better now. It's okay, Mark. Mainu's 18, not an easy game today, says Vitor. Survival football again, says Chris the Red. Maybe Mainu had a bit of an injury, says Maka. He did fall on his ankle. I literally have no idea what United are anymore. It's like they just turn up and have a game of football. It's awful, says 5 Cantonars. Look, it's so obvious what we need to do. There will be people out there who say, get Ange in, get De Zerbi in, and we might play some better football. And I will always say, how can you play better football with these players who aren't good enough to play better football? Oh, he's done. Wan-Bissaka. What the hell is Wan-Bissaka doing? What the hell is Wan-Bissaka doing there, falling over? I thought he was going to give a bloody penalty away. I have a bloody nightmare there. That was a hairy moment. A very hairy moment. I thought he was going to... He sort of fell over. I thought he was going to catch his back foot. It would have been a stonewall penalty. Rashford's just not trying. No place at all, says Matt. Here we go. Nice ball by Ericsson. Into Garnacho. The break is there. Where's he going to go? He won't pass, surely. He won't pass. No, and he's lost the ball. Fuck it. You see, I like Garnacho, but again, just wait. No one's got a bloody clue. Our attackers are so selfish. Ahmad's coming on. Ahmad's coming on. This could be heaven. Anthony's coming off and Ahmad comes on. Well, it's a is he injured? It's a shocking performance by Anthony, though. It is. It's not been good. Good decision by... Well, look, you know what? I think it's a good decision by Ten Hag to do it quick. I've got to say. We fired Ollie and Ralph for picking the bad apples. Why should Ten Hag deserve preferential treatment when doing the same mistakes? I don't know what you're talking about, OTH, man. We fired Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because the team was getting spanked every week and the players had given up. Rangnick was never getting the job. So I think you need to do your research on United before you start talking nonsense. For how bad we are in the first half, I've noticed how we've gotten worse since McTominay's come on, says Kieran. Well, one of the worst things you can do in football is put Scott McTominay as a holding midfielder because he's the world hide-and-seek champion. All shape gone with McTominay coming on, not the right sub, says Mike. I don't mind McTominay coming on if he's going to go where Bruno is. But I don't want him coming on as a holding midfielder. He's rubbish. If you deep it, Forest back four and keeper are playing Man United and will never have a more comfortable game. Crazy, says Andy. And the Rasmus press is such a big miss, says Truck. I know. Look, let's hope Ahmad can come on and do something here. Nice ball into Wan-Bissaka. Cuts it back. Oh, who was that? Delo. Thuds the post. Thought it was in. Here we go. Wan-Bissaka. Oh, tell you what, that's the best moment of the game. And when, you know, oh, here we go, McTominay. Didn't we get a moment with Delo? Didn't we get a moment with Delo against, wasn't it Burnley? Jaden Gamer, thanks for joining the members club. This was a lovely hit. Look at the way he connects that. Oh, the power on it. Would have been a fullback assist and a fullback. Oh, he's beat the keeper there. He's beat the keeper there, but he's hit the post. I'm surprised McTominay didn't get booked there. Whoever scores first will win this game. Hey up. Gibbs White. Yellow card. It's all kicking off a little bit. Let him get mad himself. I tell you what, I've got to say, I'm a little bit jealous of Gibbs White there. I'm a little bit jealous of Gibbs White. I'm a little bit jealous of the passion that he's showing there. I mean, look. Well, you might want to have a look at the Johnny Evans one. Mark, I'm away to empty dishwasher here. Bound to be more exciting than this. Players no movement. You're keeping this interesting, says Paul. Yeah, I retract what I said about Gibbs White. I thought it was a bit of passion, but it could have been a red. They need to do the slow down. We need the slow-mo. We need to... Oh, where's the bloody slow-mo now? If that was Casemiro, you'd have it on slow play. Where's the slow play on that? We haven't even seen it. Delo's right. And Delo gets booked. Fucking hell. If we have a big clear out of the squad, is Delo safe? He's so 50-50 with his performances, says Jace. Why is... We haven't even seen that tackle on a slow-mo. How can you book Varane for a trip from behind and that wild tackle be like that from Gibbs-White? It's getting a bit tasty out there. It's getting a bit tasty out there, isn't it? Varane got booked as well. It was a yellow card. It was a yellow card on Varane, but I'd love to see that Gibbs-White tackle again. That's a disgrace. Should have been a second yellow for dissent. No consistency. I'm fed up with these officials, says Thomas. If we have a big clear out of the squad, is Delo safe? He's 50-50 performance, says Jace. I like Delo. Should build the team around Ahmad, says Joe Wright. Gibbs-White got the ball, says BH. Well, I haven't seen the fucking replay of it. For some reason, they don't want to show us. How can City get away with this every week and we always get our players booked? United must show some balls and start calling this out, says Mario Franco. United are a coward club when it comes to the Premier League. We never appeal anything. We just take it. Who is your favourite United player ever? McTominay not included, says Carrie. Keane. Well, here's a free kick for United. We know what we're like from crosses. In fact, this is very, very similar to John McGinn. McTominay flicks it on. Don't jump in, Rashford. Oh, who's that number 40 for Forest? He's absolute shit. Let him have the ball more. This could be our moment. Garnacho. Ahmad. Mark, first thing Sir Jim Radcliffe... Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Mark, first thing Sir Jim Radcliffe needs to do is support Ten Hag publicly for long term and explain any players who do not can go. What's wrong with Rashford? I have a very bad feeling we'll lose. We've not played well enough, says Nigel. I think it's a 1-0 scrappy win for somebody. I don't know what's happened to Rashford here. Leg. Probably just wants a rest. Probably just wants a rest. I don't really see anything there. Maybe he's hyper extended his leg or something. Fucking hell. What we got? Half an hour to go. Well, I'm just looking at the bench here. There's not a lot of things we could do, bench-wise. So Rashford's hobbling off here. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was just looking for it to get a bit of time. there because I don't really see why. Maybe he's in a bit of pain. Maybe he's in a bit of pain here. Ten Hag's walked over to him. A point's not a good point, is it? I was just thinking, a point's not a good point, is it? Who's everyone else got this weekend? Fulham, Arsenal. Well, Fulham. Oh, hold on a minute. They're in the league. Here we go. Here we go. 1-0. Fuck off, you pricks. That's the goal, isn't it? Who's marking who? More goals conceded than a bloody Pratt. Rubbish. Musical statues. Pissed up defending, sponsored by Carling. Where's Scott McTominay in this game? I don't fucking know. Just absolute rubbish. Rubbish. You could see, I see it coming a mile off. Runners from the midfield again. Casper the Ghost, where is he? Only what they deserve. Only what we deserve. I can't wait to see this back again. Where's McTominay here, look? Too high. There's not going to be an offside there. Passes it in. Yeah, you're out of position, mate. McTominay, you're out of position again. Well done. Casper the fucking Ghost. Not doing his job. That's that. Fucking rubbish. McTominay ball watching 1-0. Been an absolute joke since he came on. That'll be it now. First goal. First goal goes in. That's it. She can count. Look at get her on countdown. She can count. She said 1-0. Well done. She understands football. Fuck off. There's no point. Well, there's no point shaking your head, Eric. You made the fucking sub. I can tell. Tell you what. Get someone at United. Get Eric Ten Hag. Get him my number. And then any subs he's going to make, let him send a message and I'll tell him. Don't put Scott McTominay as a holding midfielder. Look at him. He's a holding midfielder. He's on the fucking right wing now. Super Gran's here. I'm Super Gran. Fuck off. He's useless. Fucking useless. You're coming on for a holding midfielder, mate. Stop. You know what it is? He's inching his way up to the penalty box. I want to score a goal. I want to score a goal. You're a fucking holding midfielder. Hold the midfield. Horrible thing to say, but I think Rashford could do with an injury, says Gords. Well, I just had a message from my mate saying that goal comes from Rashford and his petty little injury where there's nothing wrong with him. Eric Ten Hag needs to be held accountable. Tired of seeing McTominay, says Alexander. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Exact. I tell you what, I wish I'd said that. Wan-Bissaka! Oh, we couldn't pass a fucking parcel! We couldn't pass a parcel! Oh, that's the cow. I just saw the replay, says Sumi. Rash Bon Lahore on 300k a week is a joke, says Tony. Does Onana ever dive? And when he does, it's like he's going through treacle. Oh, mate, don't talk about the keeper. I don't think the keeper's at fault for that, but he ain't very good at shaving shots. Onto the roof of the bar. That was from Pete the Meat. McTominay's marking air. He's like fucking Aled Jones. It's that time of year. I'm walking in the air. Doo-doo. I'm walking in the air. Stop walking in the air and fucking mark the play, you twat. Fucking, you know, but we all knew it. Go back to what we said at half-time. We all bloody knew this was going to happen. Sam says, get Ollie in. Where was Ericsson and Evans? Miles off it. Well, Carrie, he's the holding midfielder, Scott McTominay. He's got to be in that position. Sorry. He was marking air, says Mr. Dark. He was so far out of position, says Jason. Trevor says, Ten Hag needs to go. You can't sub McTominay on and not expect this. McCasper caused it, says Aaron. Ten Hag keeps choosing weak mentality players, says Kyle. Joe Wright says, Rashford is a joke. You need him gone. Where is Rashford? Is he still? Is he come back on yet? The thing is, though, you know what we'll do now is we'll start trying. We'll start trying now. It's, you know what? The trouble with that goal is I knew it was in. I knew it was going to go in. And you shouldn't be conceding goals like that. You shouldn't be conceding chances like that. Here's Ahmad. Sam says, Onana was stuck in cement again. Does he know he can use his hands? Team is dead. Open heart surgery needed, says James. Naive from Ten Hag, says Axel of War. The main new sub was idiocy and already looked like scoring all game. I like him, but this is getting concerning. The youngster was playing just fine in midfield. If Ten Hag really wants McTominay, just put him as a striker, says iClass. Awful CDM. May as well be a striker, says MVP. Big Sam time, says Danny Bravo. Danish says, this is a fucking joke. McTominay thinks he's Jude Bellingham and wants to score every fucking game. So frustrating to wear him wearing a Man United shirt. What could possibly the reason for Ten Hag subbing Mainu for McSauce? I just don't get it, Mark, says L Dude. Bring McTominay on and he'll cost us the game, says Darth Vader. Well, it must, I don't know, maybe it was an injury thing, but I still would have played Dan Gore. Palestri for Rashi and false 9 with Ahmad, says Magic. And how can you blame McTominay who isn't a 6? In what world do you sub Mainu in this type of game, says John. Well, he had him as captain the other week, mate. I said it 2 weeks ago. If Ten Hag gets sacked, it will be because he was in love with McTominay. Like, he just doesn't seem to get it. And the thing is, I want Erik Ten Hag to stay. I really do. But he's a human being, and all human beings have their weaknesses. And his weakness is his obsession with Scott McTominay. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all. It makes no sense to me. I've never understood it. But what pisses me off is that here is another Man United coach who did no homework on what was happening at Man United before he got the job. He's come in like every other fucking manager and gone, I don't care what's happened before. I'm going to decide what to happen. And it's like, what prat takes over any business and doesn't look at what was going on before? You know, he doesn't, McTominay was shit for Ollie. McTominay was shit for Ollie, and you're picking him. They should introduce financial penalties for players who don't try. It works effectively in sports like tennis, says Connor. Mark, didn't Mourinho and Ollie both think McTominay was their Roy Keane, says James. Exactly. And Ten Hag should have fucking done his own work. Scott doesn't hold the midfield, but he takes up every other forward position. He plays as a striker, as a winger. Anything else, it's painful, says Sheehan. Everyone I know predicted this was going to happen, so if us fans can see it, why can't the manager, says Lee. Mainu failed everything he attempted. Check the stats, says Jack. Yeah, but at least he's a holding midfielder. McTominay's been a fucking mess since he came on. And Michael makes a good point as well. It's all very well looking at the data and deciding that Mainu isn't involved enough, but when the alternative is McTominay, exactly. I feel like the whole team is lazy taking up defensive positions, lazy tracking back, lazy off the ball, lazy attack. The team is just lazy, just flowing through games while we fans suffer, says Mud. Well, exactly. I think... I don't think they're trying. It's all right, Mark. Scotty will score 2 in extra time and he'll be man of the match and treated like he's the best player in the world. Says Jack. Mark, didn't Mourinho and Ollie both think McTominay have done that one as well? Why don't the other coaches... Oh, let's have a look at this shot. Here it goes. Why don't the other coaches of United never get any blame? They obviously aren't up to standard. Awful at set pieces. No tactics up front, says Nathan. Just the fact McTominay chose to play for Scotland says it all, says the Ripper. And the worrying thing about the game is that we don't look like scoring. There's no urgency to get back in the game. The McTominay sub was weird, says Nigel. Yeah, well, look, I think we shouldn't be surprised by the McTominay goal, really, should we? Mark, you probably don't get to hear it much, but you and Neville always make the same commentary. It would be great to get you both together in 2024, says Scott. Well, I'd do it. He just won't do it. Yeah, I think the players genuinely don't want to play with Anthony. They seem to hate how he slows everything down, says Mo. And we should just do a yard sale at this rate, half price on each of these lazy suckers and build a new team, says Agri. It's amazing how quick the game goes when you're 1-0 down as well. Well, we won't bring Donny on. Free kick to them. It's been like the quickest game in the world. This game will be done by 7:20. There's not been anything going on, has there? Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Threatening their paychecks and see the level of play rise. They fail to save. Need a drastic measure made, says Connor. I don't understand the need to sub Maino off. He was doing a great job of tracking the midfield runners, says Guraj. And hi, Mike. Hope you and the family had a good Christmas, says Benji. Yeah, I hope you did as well. Well, I did. I mean, look, it was bad losing to West Ham, but I enjoyed the Villa game. But fucking, this is just ridiculous. You can't trust this team. You just can't trust this team. They're just so... They're just so inconsistent. You know... Here's Garnacho. Come on. No. I can't tell you how frustrating it is to see any of our attackers with the ball. Because all they think about is... shooting. They never think of the pass. GP says we need more goals. It's the same as last season. The defence get a lot to blame for the lack of creativity up front. McTominay needs to go. Can you compare the stats from Kobe and McTominay, says Template? Give me about 5 minutes and I'll do it. I'm just going to need to get closer to 45 minutes so you can really compare them. All I want is Varane and Martinez back, says Oak. But they wouldn't stop that goal. That goal's not because of Johnny Evans and Varane. That goal's because we've not picked up the midfield runners. Was that Jim Radcliffe sleeping in the stands, says Jim's. Oak Edits, thank you very much for your sticker. As long as players like McTominay and Martial are in the club, it means we don't and won't make any progress, says Space Oddie. Bruno's the real problem, says Hussein. I don't think anybody's the real problem. I think it's, you know, it's individualising things that's the problem. Goal, Rashford! 1-1! Well, I tell you what, that'll do. That'll do. Manchester United 1-1. Somebody call Greta Thunberg because it's cruelty to trees here. The Forest have been dropped down and it's 1-1. Garnacho with the assist. Rashford with the finish. And, well, there's no wood in Forest anymore for now. A defensive error and it's Garnacho who does all the work. Great play by Garnacho. He finally passes and then Rashford just passes it into the bottom. That's all about Garnacho. Look at this from Garnacho. Slides in to intercept it. Lovely pass. That's what you want. That's brilliant by Garnacho. Absolutely brilliant. 1-1. Fucking hell. That's brilliant by Garnacho. It really is. The interception and then the pass. Get in. Good finish by Rashford as well, but you give him those chances, he'll take those chances. Of course he will. Bob the Cat says, you woke me up, shout Bridge. Well, it woke me up as well. Mate, look, Rashford will score chances like that. I think his overall performance has been shite. I mean, there's people in the chat saying, oh, Rashford haters sit down. I don't think anybody hates Rashford. I think you're a twat if you are living up his arse. He's fucking rubbish compared to what he should be. I mean, I'd expect him to score that chance. His overall game has been shite. And if you're going to sit there going, Rashford haters sit down, well, you're part of the problem. You need to fuck off with him. Like, he's got to do more. You know, it's a good finish in the 80th minute. But for 78 minutes, he hasn't looked interested. We need more than that. Like, we should be winning this game. I want him to go and score the winner now. I want him to go and score the winner. That's what, you know, we're drawing against Nottingham Forest after a fucking rubbish performance. It's a get out of jail card. We need to be better than this. If this game finishes 1-1, you won't see me on the match reaction going, oh yeah, good work lads. I'll be saying, for fuck's sake, what a waste of time. We should be winning this game. It's been a shit performance. An absolute shit performance. And we are going to be where we deserve to be at the end of 2023, which is, you know, 7th or 8th. We should be a lot better than this. We shouldn't have to go 1-0 down as well. Like, we have played better since we've gone 1-0 down. No one else cared that their keeper just kicked it into his own hands. Why is that not looked at, says Jake. I can see a winner here, says Jude. We need the fucking winner. We need a winner. 4 breaks started by Evans so far. Not put a foot wrong, but he's not foreign or fashionable, so let's all laugh at him. He's 35, Sam. That's the problem with Evans. Think that this goes to show if you're using your teammates makes it easier to score. That's what I loved about Garnacho, is he actually put a fucking cross in. At this point, I'd be very surprised if we even reach the Conference League, says Paul. No one else done that from Jake. 10 minutes to win it. What does the league look like? $32 points as it stands. We need to win this. It's Garnacho. Come on. They look stretched now. This is where we can do it. They look stretched. Lays it off. Christian Eriksen. Oh, good save by the keeper. Ahmad cuts it back. Oh. This game is stretched now. The Hippo's got the ski pants on. It's stretched. Oh, not again. Oh, for fuck's sake, man, no! What a goal! What a goal to concede! How the fuck have we done that? They've just bloody done the same thing again! There's no one marking on the edge of the box again! Where's the midfield? They've ran off like a fucking nonce who's left their computer at PC World. They've disappeared. They've disappeared. Where are they? Where are they? Where's the midfield again? I can't believe it. I can't believe this. I'm just going to watch this back. I just do not know. When McTominay's there, right? Where's Gibbs White here? No, McTominay. This is on McTominay again. What's he doing? I'm sorry, that's McTominay again. He's been dragged out to the left and left the middle open. Eriksen's part of the attack. It's a bloody good finish. I feel like Kevin Keegan in the 2002 England-Romania game when they equalised. There's only one team that's going to win this. And it looked like it was going to be us. Look, McTominay's in the wrong position here. He doesn't need to double up. Onana should save that as well. Onana should save that. Tony says, don't talk crap. Who's missing the runner again? Tony, I don't know whether you've ever played football, coached football, watched football, but you come across as a complete and utter lunatic. How the hell is the attacking midfielder meant to be tracking back on their attacking midfielder? Scott McTominay has got pulled out to Delow. Delow doesn't need Scott McTominay to hold his fucking hand at left back. Scott McTominay is the holding midfielder, should hold the midfield. And he's fucked off for a little holiday to have, with Delow. He doesn't need to do it. He doesn't need to go there. He does it because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's like a fly around shit. As a midfielder there, you do not back off, you go to the runner. You can't just I've got a few things to catch up on here. That's on McTominay. Zero possessional awareness, says Daniel. Both goals are McTominay's fault, says Harrison. I'm turning it off. See you in 2024, says Monkey Time. I've lost count how many times Carbon copies goals this season. They're so similar, Mud. As a midfielder there, you do not back off. You go to the runner. You just can't give him space to run into an awful decision making. All round, we've been crap, says Sean Turner. McTominay falling into left back and right wing in the same half is absolutely abhorrent. He's a prat, says Isaiah. He's got no fucking discipline at all. No worries, Rashford will sit everyone down, says Salim. McTominay needs a Specsavers sponsorship, says Nigerian Uber driver. How's Onana not saved it? It's right next to him, says Alfie. Both these goals are on Ten Hag. The sub killed us, says Porik. This team's awful. They won't play for Erik Ten Hag anymore. No fight at all. I'm really excited for the Ahmad winner, says Ronan. And not enough, but at least they chased the press, says Dan Harding. I think that was from when we equalised. Fucking hell. It's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that kills you. Do you think he'll lose his job, Mark? No. No. I don't think you'll get sacked for losing to Nottingham Forest when you've just beaten Aston Villa. But the harsh fact is that The harsh fact is that it's another terrible loss for Manchester United. You know, would this be our 9th loss? I don't know whether that's actually updated there. Oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's just chaotic. It's giving me a headache. But no, I don't think he'll get the sack, is the honest answer, because I just think that the whole club's in a fucking mess. Surprise, surprise. I mean, we could get a late equaliser here, but the bottom line is that's not good enough. Even if we get a late equaliser, it's not good enough. We needed a win. You need to be winning these sort of games. We've got a corner here. The thing is, it's both goals have got nothing to do with Evans or Varane, who've actually, you know, I mean, you'd expect them to have a decent game against Chris Wood, but they're both so many goals that we've conceded that have this season that have been from midfield runners. Spurs, Wolves, Hammersville are going to get worse, says Ian. I think at Old Trafford we'll beat Spurs because they play a high line. McTominay couldn't find a dairy milk bar in Cadbury World. Absolutely shambolic, says Jensen. And McTominay's about to sack his 4th manager, says Reese. You know what? If I was the next Manchester United manager, the first thing I would do would be to drive Scott McTominay to Scotland, drop him off and drive back. Because Mourinho liked him, got the sack. Ollie liked him, got the sack. Rangnick liked him, got the sack. And Ten Hag's obsessed with him. It's the simplest lesson to learn, isn't it? A few people talking about Bruno. Look, Bruno's been crap. You know, I love Bruno, but call it for what it is. Crap. Rashford scored a goal, but, you know, apart from that, absolutely crap. Anthony was crap. Garnacho was okay, but, you know, he was quite wasteful. Eriksen, physically bullied. Varane and Evans did okay. Wan-Bissaka, I think, has had a bad game. Delo's done okay. I couldn't even give McTominay the satisfaction of being a substitution player. Just sell him and get rid of the problem once and for all, says It's Mark. Have we considered making McTominay the target man and second striker, given his incredible desire, and might say talent for scoring, says Javid. What are you talking about? Mark, at what point does anyone, either Erik Ten Hag or Sir Jim, address Onana? He is a problem, as bad a purchase as Mount. And playing a one-man midfield and giving up goals to midfield runners, I wonder if there is any correlation, says Threefold Pass. Of course there is. The midfield hasn't changed. He's not changing the midfield. It's always one holding midfielder. And Eriksen's the holding midfielder now because McTominay is going up front. With Maino in the field, we don't concede both goals, says View. And Arsenal is better, says Amty. Mate, that's like saying a fucking steak is better than shit. I mean, come on. You're better than that. You did a super chat for that, Auntie. How does Ricky justify McDonald's, says Sadiq. Well, find out on the forum after this. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're very close to 806,000. We're only about 20 away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Player ratings, I need to drop into the video description. I haven't done that yet. It's on the unitedstand.com. But I will drop you the link in the video description now. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Madness. And big shout out to Manscaped, by the way. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code TUS. Links in the description. That's what Man United need to be sponsored by Manscaped. Trim the grass. Find some balls. We used to have a pair of balls. Now it's just hairy like an 80s porn star. Trim the grass, Sir Jim. Make the yard look bigger. Sponsored by Manscaped. You can get 20% off, Sir Jim, with the code TUS. And it's what you need to do as well. Get the lawnmower. The lack of options off the bench to try and change it is a massive problem. Nothing there to try and save it once Diallo was on, says Mitchell. McTominay sells more games than the Monopoly man, says Twiz. Mate, the players are not good enough, not just McTominay or Onana. Stop blaming the one-person game. They are not good enough as a team, says Vita. Vita, look, you've expressed your opinion. Well done. And welcome to the United Stand. But don't tell me what to do. You've expressed your opinion. That's fine. Don't tell me what to do. He took off Mainu at half-time and he brought a bloke on who would be auditioning for the sequel to Ghost if they ever made one. Because he's fucking invisible. We would not have conceded either goal if he knew what he was doing. As a holding midfielder, lessons with Goldbridge, stay central. Stay central and protect the edge of your box. He doesn't do it on either occasion. I'm sick of this now. This is by far the worst Man United I've seen from recruitment, manager to players. They all want binning, says George. Isn't McTominay family close to Sir Alex's family? Could Sir Alex be influencing the managers to pick him? Marcus, Mourinho liked him. Ollie liked him. Ranić liked him. Ten Hag likes him. And he's crap. Like, he's crap. Why is this guy playing for Man United week in, week out? Like, he's crap. He's a goal hanger who every now and again scores a tap-in. But apart from that, he doesn't do anything. But he plays for Man United. Regardless of how bad McTominay is, this is shocking. Garnacho not passing into the box and Bruno sulking, says Harvey. Can we stop saying Erik Ten Hag needs to sack when we looked and he needs time when we win? Let him build his own team, says Nick. Mark, McTominay needs to go, says David. But look, I want Ten Hag to stay. I want Ten Hag to stay. But I can't defend his obsession with Scott McTominay. I can't defend his obsession with some of these players. Where's Anthony Martial? What's Martial got? He's been ill for 3 weeks. There's this weird stuff going on at this football club. The amount of managers that love McTominay shows how little the majority of those squads actually worked hard. That's indicative of the mentality problem that's plagued the club, says Vacation Pappy. And United used to be like Ron Jeremy. Now they're more like Ron Burgundy. Do you think United will get top 4, says Tom? No. I didn't think we were going to get top 4 anyway. I certainly don't think we're going to get top 4 now. Oh my God! How has that not gone in? I mean, it would have been a moment. I think this would have pissed people off. Bruno, lovely technique. And, well, is Man United becoming the Everton of their city, says Daly. Well, we've got another chance here to whip it in. Eriksen, same again. 10 minutes added on here. Don't know where we got the 10 minutes from, by the way. As a Liverpool fan, I feel your pain. Cross comes in. As a Liverpool fan, I feel your pain. We went through this for so long. One thing can change your fortunes as much as you don't believe it right now. Clock was ours. Your time. We'd be back, says Sport. Every one of us knows Scott just can't do it. What's with these managers? I'm feeling even Pep and Sir Alex would have played him every match, says Shim. Can't sell an ill player, says Keel Robinson. McTominay's inability makes Eriksen overwork, says MZ. Oh, yeah, I was going to check this out, actually. Just to tell you. Let's have a look. Touches and passes. So, passes. McTominay's passed the ball 18 times in this second half. Mainu did it 12 in the first half. And touches. McTominay's had 32 touches and Manu had 23. So he has been on the ball more. But stats can be very deceptive, can't they? Biggest issue isn't McTominay, it's United can't score. Third lowest goals in the Premier League is embarrassing. Can't win if you can't score, says coach. Can we do an end of season review on shots David would have saved? Here's Ahmad, straight at the keeper. People panel go through all goals this season. Me, you, Beth, be gold, says Pete. You know what? To be honest with you, I didn't even look at either of the goals that we conceded and whether the goalkeeper should have done any better. I'd have to bow down to your knowledge. I don't know whether Onana should have saved any of those goals. I think the second one he probably should save, considering where he is. But it's just my biggest concern is the inability to pick up midfield runners. I mean, it's just so... It's amateur. It's amateur. So you look at our last 5 Premier League games. Beaten by Bournemouth at home. Drew with Liverpool away. Lost to West Ham away. Beat Villa at home. Lose to Forest away. Eric Ten Hag has no tactics at all, according to Marks, as BM. Didn't say that. Well, maybe we get a late equaliser. As far as I'm concerned, it's not good enough anyway. I don't think the performance today deserves anything other than a loss. And obviously, I'd love it if we equalised, but I just pissed off with this today. I said it in the first 10 minutes, and somebody said in the chat, "Stop being so negative," and I could see it. I could see it a mile off. You could just tell. First 10 minutes. I've watched this team too many times. You get a feeling. I hate that new manager. Bounce is a real thing, says Maratta. I don't know whether Onana can save that, you know. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to ask Ben Foster tomorrow. Goals are on the centre-backs, like Neville said, says Robert. Yeah, but Gary Neville's never going to go in on... Gary Neville ain't got a fucking clue, Robert. Robert, you always stick up for Scott McTominay. You're the last person in the world I'm going to listen to about Scott McTominay. And I don't agree with Gary Neville. I don't agree with the goals are on the centre-backs at all. What's he talking about? Gibbs White's a midfielder. McTominay's out of position on both of them. I don't agree with Gary Neville on that. And if he wants to have a chat about it, he can tell me about all the Premier League medals he's won. But, you know, Gaza couldn't tell me about any... You know, just because you've played the game, it's very fucking obvious who's at fault for both the goals. Forest didn't look... Forest didn't look like scoring in the first half. Second half, they have. Right, come on. Garnacho. Ahmad. Ericsson. Wide. That's it. Where do you stand on players turning their backs against Ten Hag? The more I look at the game, the more I think Ten Hag has lost the locker room, says BM. Well, I don't really understand it. We keep discussing whether the players... Final whistle's gone, by the way. We keep discussing whether the players are playing for the manager. And every time we think they're not playing for the manager, they... they come out in the second half 2-0 and win 3-2. I'm starting to hate myself for believing in these crap players. What a waste of energy and time. Don't sell them, give them away for free, says Vitter. Yeah, absolutely shocking. Anyway, look, we are going to go over to the match reaction. There's a lot to talk about. We've got the player ratings to do as well. I'll see you over there in a minute.